Okay, let's see this. Going to try to effectively mount a 1581 D81 image so I can directly access it on the C64. And I kind of figured out this kind of way to do that on the Ultimate 2 that I didn't realize before until I was messing around with the IEC settings last night. So I've got FB loaded, file browser loaded on this C64. Let's go into the menu. There we go, and let's turn drive 9. Let's set the IEC drive to drive 9. And let's enable it. Boom. And let's get out of the menu to make it active. And then come back here, set drive 9, hit the D key. Boom, there we go. Now we're in the root directory. I set the default path to USB 1. That's where my USB key was plugged into. And we're at the default path. So let me browse to this D84 file that I'm interested in. It's under music, or D81 file, sorry. Under music. Well, I thought it was under music. Yeah, it's under music. Just have to remember that FB browser uses different keys than the overlay for U64. You have to hit enter to get into the directory. Let's see here. There it is. Favorite CGSC files, D81. Now if I hit enter again, it'll load this directory in. Alright, here we have the directory. Now this is the current active directory on my U64 Ultimate 2 combo on the IEC drive 9 port. This is the current active directory, or active file. So everything looks normal, and I'm like, okay, it looks great. So far so good. And then I'm like, okay, wait a minute, where's my file extensions? Why is it taking off my file extensions? Like, I've got files that have the same names, like Spain, LBC and LBC. That one should say stereo, and the other one should say .mus and .str, and they don't. So I'm like, okay, why is it stripping off the file extensions? So I go back to the overlay, and I go to browse to the actual file itself using the overlay. Music. Favorite CGSC D81. No, we don't want to do that. Let's just go into it. Boom, there. Now we're in. Okay, so it's got the .mus, .str. It's also got the .prg it's adding for the overlay purposes. So it's stripping off the PRG, which makes sense, because you don't need that portion when you're on actual reading it from the C64. But why is it stripping off my other .mus, .str, .wds? It should only be taking off the last extension, not the one previous to it, and it's just stripping it all off, so that makes it kind of useless for my purposes. I wish it wasn't doing that. And just to be sure, kill the overlay. Let's exit out of this. Quit. Alright. Now the active file or directory should still be that D81 file, so my C64 should be able to load that directory and display it as if it was a mounted D81 image. Alright, let's list it. Yep, it works. There's my D81 file, directly accessed from the C64. But I've got the problem. It's stripped off the extensions of the files. and this was almost working great. Almost. Except it's kind of annoying not to be able to access your files in their original forms because the extensions are gone. I assume it's just some sort of bug that was overlooked, or maybe it's getting too aggressive with how it's stripping off the .prg, and it's taking the .mus and other extensions off too. That would be great if you could fix this. Seems like a kind of a little thing, but that would give me the ability to pseudo mount a D81 onto my C64 at a drive 9 position. That would be awesome. All right, thanks. Bye.